Hello, YouTube. I've got one more film, and then I think things will start to get really good. This is just what I bought, and I don't know how I ended up with two of these, but apparently I accidentally ordered two of these, and I will get to that. I want to talk about what I intend to do with these things. What I had to come to realize is I really do want to do spells with some of these things. And it felt more like a luxury. And I had to face that part of myself. Before I start, I just want to say that I'm not saying anything about anybody else, but this is my struggles on my journey and things that really do bother me about my lifestyle, my practice, and some things that I would like to change. Right now, I am dealing with some very, very heavy things. And it is difficult for me not to cry. And this has been a constant. And I haven't shared this with anyone. It's been like this for a little over 2 years. So I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to do what I love because I don't want to let that stop me. So these two are charity bath bombs that 100% of the profits go to organizations that help out organizations like SNAP and other places that give access to healthy foods to low income and the homeless. That's a bit of a pet peeve of mine, and that's something I truly care about. So you know what? I'm actually glad that I got two of them because, especially bath bombs, you use them once and then that's it. And with a spell, sometimes you have to keep doing it. So at least I can do it twice. Or I can give this to someone as a gift. Pre-donation money spent. So these two, I hesitated in buying because I was thinking about balance. I don't want to have too much of one thing, and I don't want to have something that I'm not going to use either. But I do tend to use oils and fragrances a little bit more because a lot goes a long way. So this is the Evergreen oil blend. I don't actually have an Evergreen oil blend. I have evergreen and pine oil in other blends that I really like, forest blends, but that is my favorite scent this time of year and probably one of my favorite scents in the whole wide world. So I kind of wanted that, and that I consider my luxury. Now this year, because I've been trying to embrace holly and the color red and abundance a little bit more, I got this, which is called Lovely Dark and Deep. You probably can't see, but there's supposed to be real holly berries in this one. So this one I had to think about too because I wanted to make sure I used it before it went bad. And luckily I can keep these in a dark space. That does actually affect the oils, especially where I live because there's a lot of moisture in the air. This is the one that I really wanted, and I had to go back for this. And Witch Baby was so kind to combine my orders, even though it was after the 24-hour period. And this one went really fast. This one is called Mint Moonstone Soap. And there was a bath bomb. There's bath salts, which is really cool. And I believe there's a bath butter. But I wanted this one for two reasons. One, mint is healing. It's for clarity. And of all the crystals that I have, I do not have Moonstone. And Moonstone follows me. It stalks me all the time. I can't wear it. It's just too much to wear sometimes. But I decided, you know what, I need to quit ignoring this. So there's a chunk of Moonstone in here. And I only need one, right? And it's Rainbow Moonstone, which Blue Moonstone tends to follow me, but it almost doesn't matter. Any type of moonstone is like, one of these days you're going to pick me up. One of these days you're going to take me home. And you just need to deal with that, And it's just a really nice thing to have right now when my emotional stability really needs help a lot. And I love peppermint. I really do. And then this one is the Simmer Pot Bath Bomb. This I thought was a good idea because like this one, which is the Lovely Dark and Deep, there's pine, there's a little of everything in it. This one has, you know, cider and orange peel, I believe. No, maybe it doesn't have orange peel. It might have apple. But it has like all the things that you want in the season. And since I'm kind of unable to do an actual simmer pot, I thought this was really cool, and I thought this was a good investment. I thought, okay, this is going to be my only bath bomb because I should only need one. Just make it good, right? Some people buy two. I only buy one. Because of my recent adventure with the goddess, I decided to... Oh, is this not labeled? Wait a minute. Hang on. Snow and Roses. This was to continue connecting to my feminine nature honestly and truthfully, with no lies, no pretending, no like denial of, no, I'm not this way because I want to look this way bullshit. No, enough of that. And also to connect to Aphrodite. And I got this a couple years ago, and it was interesting. That was when my bathroom started to have problems. And so I ended up using a bunch of this stuff when it actually went bad, and I originally had the bath bomb. So I didn't get the full benefits of that. I'm planning out the spell. I've already got a couple of drafts written up, so I'm not just going to throw these in the tub. That's another thing. Like, I could just throw these in the tub and send my good vibes, blah, blah, blah. I feel like that's a little lazy. So I kind of want to, sorry about that garage door, I kind of want to add an actual spell to this to help this along, just because it's an opportunity that I've always wanted to have. I never get to do one of these. For some reason, all the charity bath bombs are always out, and when I do get them, there's something that I either feel iffy about, or something that I really don't feel I have that much passion to do as a spell. And I know that sounds mean, but sometimes you gotta pick and choose. This is also the first time that I've ever really been open about some of this stuff, so it's gonna be awkward for a while, and this YouTube channel is gonna change for a while, and that's okay. And I'm gonna take my time about it and not worry about how it looks, not worry about how clumsy it is. And I know it's been a lot about shopping lately, but these are the easiest things to film, and it is that time of year. I should have one more film out on some of the things that I bought, but this is the more important one because this one I'm really excited about. Now, in terms of the smell, I've actually never smelled holly berries. We have some berries out in the backyard that I usually use that are part of the family. Some of them my mother grows, and some of them the neighbors grow, and they fall off all the time, or we have to trim them, and so I get holly berries, or I get something like it. This is the first time I've ever smelled them, and it smells really good. So that's another thing. This is way out of my comfort zone. This is not something that I would normally do. Normally it's all about the pine, and that's what I'm also doing this year. I'm kind of broadening my horizons. This smells really good. It doesn't smell just like one. It smells like many. I can tell it's a blend of things, as opposed to someone making evergreen oil and it's just pineal oil or pine oil or just spruce oil, etc. Because there are different types of evergreens. And I'm probably going to use this in protection because this is my tree, okay? Like, sometimes I feel when I smell it or when I meditate with it, I feel like I'm a part of it for some reason. Like, there's something about pine. It does something to me. I can almost feel as if I were a pine, and that's something else I've been tapping into lately, is through my empathy and also understanding of quote-unquote magic and Norse practices, if you even want to call it that. I realize that I can shift really easily into things, and I need to protect myself from doing that because I end up kind of not so clear on who I am sometimes, because I can really go deep into not just a person, but an object, an idea, energies. And so I'm really working on protecting myself against doing that, which is also why I want to use other things besides this, because it's so easy for me to imagine myself as a pine tree for whatever reason. Yeah, there it is. And this is kind of about being more jolly, inviting in more love during this time of year. I'm definitely going to be doing a coming of the sun this year, or a welcoming of the sun when it comes. Because I'm not going to sit outside and watch the sunrise, which I've done before, and it's beautiful. I used to take a blanket out there, and I used to take Avi out there, and Avi would, of course, ruin it and try and sit on my blanket. And I'm like, no, all the blankets you can sit on, not my ritual blanket, sorry. So sometimes Avi would sit by me and we'd watch the sunrise together, and Avi likes it when I sit with him. But that's kind of his thing, so that became a part of that ritual, and now I'm going to have to change that, which is a little bit hard, but we're going to get there. So I know this was a little bit long for just shopping and things, but I wanted to talk about some very deep stuff. I don't want this to be, look at what I bought. I want this to be, look at what I'm doing. I have been so knee-deep in my journey that it's weird talking about other things, because I really felt like I needed to invest the time and energy into that, which was great, but now it's time to start thinking like me again, and in a different way, and that's going to be a little bit uncomfortable for a while for me. Writing is more comfortable than saying things out loud, so if I seem awkward, that is why. And I really want to start talking about magical stuff. I really want to start talking about my goals, what I intend to do, and show you the actual change, which should be really fun. More ahead. But before I go, I have a question for you. Which one of these is your favorite? I'm really curious to see in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.